To the studio at Two Girls Treasure. Sorry I'm late, not sorry. We're late this morning. We had some lovely guests in the store, and I wanted to make sure that they were well cared for while they were visiting. I'm Diane Pruitt. Welcome to the studio at Two Girls Treasure. I keep seeing this in the back of my video, and I couldn't figure out what it was. But now I know our next project. We worked on these planters and these bottles yesterday. Getting salty. That's what you get after you sand it back and you create your own look. Doesn't look finished, does it? Glad you think so too, because I didn't think so either. I do love the way they look. Very patriotic, very colorful. The bottles turned out amazing. I love this look. I really do. But we're going to go one step further. Now, yesterday, before I left, you'll notice that this is a little bit different. The one on the side, my left, is sanded back. This one is not. I'll show you how to do that in just a little while. The red and white one, not only did I sand it back, but I took our Pentart 3D pen and I gave it a little bit of extra bling. Look at those dots. Beautiful. The reason we're dotting it with the 3D pen, not with the pearl pen, is because I didn't order the 3D pearl pens yet. Look how gorgeous this vase is. Now, I know it has some problems. It's damaged. It's old. Mel said it's weird that her face is on there. I think it's just weird that she has giant flowers in her face. This is the original Princess Leia. But look how fine the dots in this detail work are. I'm amazed and inspired. I like that. And although that is not necessarily my inspiration for this, it is very inspiring because when you look at other artists' work, you see what you can do. You see what we as people are capable of if we just set out to do it. So welcome in. We're going to do some things. I have a plan for today, and I'm glad to share it with you. Thank you for being here. First thing we need to do, and I have some IOD Iron Orchid Designs transfers here. I'm going to set these to the side for a minute, and we're going to seal this. Now, you hear how dry that is? Good morning, y'all. Welcome in. Even though I sanded this back, getting salty is dry. And if we're going to do anything else to these, we need to seal them. And we are going to do something else to them. Now, putting the dots on, not a big deal. That's just fine. But what we're going to do is going to require a little bit more than just dotting the lines. So we're going to put a coat of Tough Top from Rethunk Junk Paint by Laura on our bottle. We're going to cover right over where we painted with our our getting salty. I've got to learn to say that the right way. I like salty. We're going to seal right over our salty, and then we're going to put this right in front of the fan. I want to make sure I don't have any drips. I'm going to turn the fan on high. I shouldn't do that, but I'm going to. All right, now these planters, I'm not, excuse me, I'm not going to do the same thing with, but I am going to go ahead and put a seal coat on it before we go forward. I'll seal this one, I'll leave the other one. We'll see what works the best. Now, I did not Uh, I did not sand back the areas of blue because I didn't put a top color over that. So we're just going to let that blue ride like it is. I'm going to go ahead and put a seal coat on the bottom of the saucer. And we're going to let that ride for just a minute. I'm going to scoot these out of the way. Definitely going to cap my low luster cuff top. And let's take this one. Now, not only is it dry, but you can hear the texture when I run my hands around it. We are not looking for that texture to stay like it is. So what we're going to do, I have a 220 grit and I have a 400 grit piece of sandpaper. And we're just going to gently, because we're on glass, we're going to sand back our colors just a little bit. And that made a big difference. So now this is smoother, still dry. Before we do anything else, I'm going to take a paper towel and we're going to damp that paper towel. I've got my spray bottle right here. I'm going to fold this over and I'm just going to go ahead and saturate my paper towel. The reason is when you sand, little fine pieces of grit stay behind. And in order to move forward to the next steps, we need this clean. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water on a paper towel and wipe it clean. Now that's not much different than it was. You can see where the white sanded back. You can see the blue underneath. And the blue sanded back just still looks like blue, but you can see a little glimmer of light through there. And we want that. I'll show you why in a little while. I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to make sure that this surface is good and clean, clear of debris, best I can at the time. So there we go. That's good. Now, while these are drying, we're going to grab, I chose Flora Greca. Yes. This is from the spring collection transfers. I chose Flora Greca because it has, although I really love, I love by any other name because it's roses. But we're going to stick with Flora Greca because that was the one I looked at and said, this looks right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this out of the packaging. This is such a beautiful transfer set. And we're going to find our page. I'll keep that in mind, but I am looking for, I think this is the one I'm looking for. Well, it is. This has birds on it, and these are not as tall as the bottle, but I think that's okay. These are yellow and purple. What do we have up at the front here? I'm not going to use the birds. And these are yellow and purple. They're beautiful. Is this the one we want to use? I always question my use of transfers. Good morning, y'all. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I think we could take these and we can mix them. And this one has a little bumblebee in it, and I think that is so adorable. So we're going to take these two pieces. We'll set Flora Greca to the side, and now we're going to do a thing. I've not lost my mind. I need you to know that. I have not. Our stripes on the bottle are approximately the same width as our tape. Remember, we taped those off yesterday. And our tape is approximately 2 squares on the grid line wide. Now, because we have the grid lines, I don't really need the tape to mark off my pieces. What I do need the tape for is to ensure that I don't slide my pieces while I am getting ready to make my move. So I'm going to use all 4 of my fingers, tape the edges of our transfer sheet. I'm going to make sure this is lined up well. Tape those edges down, and bingo. Now, if I want to do this right, I will count from the center out. So I'm going to put my finger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to come over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here is my center. I'm going to clip it so I know that this is my center point. And I might as well go ahead. We're doing this. Cut it exactly in half. Now I'm going to trim there. So I'm going to go ahead and go the full length of the transfer piece on all 3 sections, 4 sections. Beautiful. Now, I'll set the purple to the side. We'll get to that in just a moment. This is dry. I don't think it has Tough Top on it. The reason why we need Tough Top before we go to our transfers is since this is dry with our salty on it, it is not going to stick. Our transfers are not going to stick. So I'll take the bottle that we just put Tough Top on, and it is dry. We'll use this as our experiment. Now the only thing I have to decide is, do these pieces go on the white or the blue? That's a tough call. But I think we're going to go on the white. I think that's where we'll go. All right, I'm doing this. We're going to take this, and I don't want to go all the way to the bottom, so we'll go somewhere right here in the center, and we'll lay this piece down. And I'm going to rub it on, and I'm going to grab my transfer stick. Now, keeping these in order is important right this minute. So we will rub this on here. It shouldn't take much to transfer this image onto our bottle, and it's not going to. Since we tough topped it first, it's going right on. If you're using some kind of texturizer, I hope that you're using Getting Salty. But if you're not using Getting Salty, whatever texturizer you are using, just know that you need to seal over it before you use your transfers. Because if you don't, you risk your transfers not sticking to your surface, and we want them to stick. That's what they're for. Here we go. All right, we'll lay that in. And we will continue. And even with the tough top on there, this is still a little challenging because it wants to stay on the carrier sheet. Just a little extra rubbing, and now we have a peekaboo. All right, so the next piece that goes to this would go right here. And since we're not going right there, we're going to set that to the side. We're going to take the next piece in line, and that's what's going to go here. So take that apart, get your bearings on your placement. It doesn't have to be perfect here, just make sure it's relevant. Rub it on really well with your hand. Rub over it one really good time with your transfer tool, top to bottom. And then rub over your detail work really well, a little at a time, so you can transfer that image off the protective carrier sheet and onto your surface. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you could join us today for the detail work on yesterday's project pieces. We are using our Pentart 3D pens, and we're using our Iron Orchid Design transfer set called Flora Greca. So if you don't have any of those products, you can order them from our website, twogirlstreasure.com. The Flora Greca is from the Iron Orchid Designs Spring Collection. And there is a Pentart category, so you can find your Pentart products. This is going to look good. All right. Again, the next piece would go connected to this, and since we're not going on the blue, we're setting that to the side. Now let's stand that back up. Let's grab our other sheet, and I think we will go, oh, you know what? I really want the bumblebee, but we can use him on the next bottle. We sure can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It is 16, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the center line. We could do that. I want that bumblebee in there. I really do. So we're going to cut this one down the center line just like we did the first one. At 8 blocks, the line on the grids is your center line. We could use the pink. That would look lovely. That would look lovely. But I really want this bumblebee in my life. And we still have 3 more, 1, 2, 3 more blocks to fill in, so we have just the right amount. We'll set these to the side, and let's go ahead and trim this out. Every 2 blocks is an inch. So we're going to go ahead and trim this. Oh, how cool. We'll get the bumblebee in 2 different places. Right down the middle. I love that. So it's important, again, to make sure when I lay these down, I lay them down in the order that I'm taking them apart, because we're only going to use every other one so that our imaging doesn't look scattered, because obviously these 2 pieces would be next to each other. There wouldn't be a separation in between them. Make sense? I think so. As I finish, you'll see. So we need 3 pieces. We've got 1, 2. So we're going to start with the center one, and we'll set this to the side. And we'll set the second one to the side. We're going to use these 2. And we're going to the very next section, which is right here. And again, we started a little higher. These are a little taller. This one wants to run away. There we go. This one's a little taller than the pieces that we started with. So we may want to come down just a little bit. And again, just make it relevant to what you already have on there. This is like looking through the blinds at the flowers growing right outside your window. We'll set that one over. Rub it on really well with your hand. Then take your transfer tool and again rub over the entire image one good time. And then rub over your image in detail. You can lift the edge and that will help encourage the transfer of your image. Don't force it. If it's not off the paper, if you force it, it will crack it. So take your time. Don't force the paper up too hard. Just hold it a little bit taut so that as you're rubbing your transfer onto your surface, it is encouraged to transfer itself. And I pulled too hard. I didn't tear it, but I pulled it loose. So I will stop that immediately. And there we go. Look how beautiful. And I'm excited. Let's go to our next, which is where our bumblebee is. And then we'll need one more piece to fill in that last gap after we put our bumblebee on. You don't have to do this exactly the way I do. I wanted not to put every piece sequentially. That way I would get a more varied look and a little bit more interesting finish to the stripes. But if you want to lay the pieces on sequentially, you do that. You don't have to do it the way I do. The beautiful thing about creativity is that we all do things a little bit differently. We can all do the exact same project. We're going to have different end results. Now I need one more piece. So I've got the yellow pieces here. I have the purple pieces here. I want to lay these over. And we could go right straight into the pink. I think we should. I'll lay that right there and let's trim again. Every 2 blocks is an inch, nearly an inch, and that's the width of our tape. And the tape is the measure of how we stripe the bottles. So we'll lay that out. This has some lovely images. We'll lay that out. Last cut. I love that these grid lines are on the surface of these transfers. It really makes the difference in what we're working with. All right, so we're in between yellows and rich burgundies and a bumblebee. We just need another piece to go here. And we have it all laid out so we can choose whatever we like. I think I'll go with this one. It has just the edge of the greenery and the pink, and I think it will end the transfer sections just nicely. So we'll lay this in. To the edge of the white. We'll run over the entire design. And what a great way to learn how to use transfer pieces on a curved surface. That's not always the easiest thing to do. But it's not difficult either. So there we go. All of our stripes now have florals incorporated, and I love that they're different. I love that. We're going to let that sit up. We are going to seal this, and we're also going to dot it. So let's get out our silver pen. I don't know, on this one I really want to do gold. I've got it. I really want to do the gold pen. So these 3D decor pens are by Pentart. They have a pearl pen. I didn't order them yet. If you want them, raise your hand. Let me know. I can put them on the website and we can do a pre-order. They'll be in a few days. And then I can ship them straight to you. I just didn't order them at the moment. But we need to. We probably need to. That'll help. All right, I'm just going to dot this. I'm going to squeeze a little bit and make sure I've got a good start. And then we're just going to drop a dot all the way up. I am not going to break the dots for the imaging. I'm going to come right up alongside of it. And I'm only going to keep a little bit of pressure on the tube as I go up. And it doesn't have to be perfect. As a matter of fact, it really is not. This is a really quick dot job. In order to be more accurate with my lines, I would have probably wanted to start with more accurate lines to begin with. And since I did not do that, there is my wavy little line of dots. It's not great. I did a better job earlier today. I don't know why I'm getting in a hurry. It's 9:46 and maintenance is coming in today to do some maintenance. So I do have to get ready for them to come in and make a mess. And fix a few things in the building. Now I hit an air pocket, so I'm just going to shake it again, come over to the side and squeeze until I get a little bit out. There we go. There we go. All right, and we'll keep going. I'm going to wipe the tip off so I don't have a blobby spot. I'm going to dot this, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the planters, because I will finish this work while I am waiting for maintenance to do their thing today. That one's much straighter, and now my stripes look really cute on there. All right, we're going to let this one dry. I'm going to cap this real quick, and I'll grab my white because we do have the 3D pen in white. And this one, so I painted the white over the red and the red over the white. So when I sanded it back, you can see the lines on the in-between, but you can't see the paint. So we'll just give it some definition. Watch this. I'm not going to dot these, I don't believe. I think I'm just going to create a 3D line of white stripe right there. Right there. And I'm just going to come around where I see the definition, the faint outline of the line. And I'm going to 3D our lines on there. Now, if I'm not careful, I'll smush my line and I'll create a secondary line. That's not what we're going for. So just a nice, smooth, even touch, top to bottom. And now we are striped and striped. And if you want to dot this, you can dot this. If you want to create some kind of other texture, create some kind of other texture. I'm not going to do anything to the bottom. I'm going to let that lie. And we'll let this dry, and this goes to that. This has been tough topped. We'll let that dry, and then I will continue to dot my bottles and tough top over the surfaces. I'm going to take my red and white, which should be dry now, and I'll use the transfer pieces, and we will repeat the process on the red and white that we did with the blue and white. This has to be tough topped first, right? Yes. So does this one. That's what we're going to be doing around here today. I hope whatever crafty project that you're doing today, you have a great time doing it. Relax and enjoy the process. If you need any materials or you have any questions, please let me know. I can't see these comments after I save the video, but if you do have any questions or any comments, make sure you drop them in the comment section, and I will try my best to get back to you just as quickly as I can. You can always call the store. I answer all the time, or you can drop us a text message or email through the website. I truly appreciate you being here with me today. We will wrap these planters and bottles up today, and we will move on to a new and super cool project that we're going to get ready for Paint Therapy Thursday. So make sure you join me in the morning, 9 a.m.-ish, just in case we have customers in the store. And we will go again in the studio. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're coming to you from Florence, South Carolina. Stop in anytime. We're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And we'd love to see you stop in the store and visit with us. Have a beautiful day. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Bye, y'all.